Hey guys, USA here, and today we're bringing you, actually this is a world record gameplay. This is a 101 gun streak on the map Express by Acquitz GetMxrked. And I think that's a really insane gameplay. 101 gun streak on Express. I can't even drop 100 kills non-lethal on Express, nonetheless get, all of them in a row. So I think 101 gun streak is a really good gun streak on Express especially. And it's actually the highest gun streak we've uploaded on this channel by one. Previously it was by Me On PSN with a 100 gun streak, and now we have a 101 gun streak, and it's on Express, so it's better too. And the commentary topic for today is about I'm putting up quotation marks, the Ebola outbreak. And here's the thing, there is not really an Ebola outbreak happening. Pretty much, a person from Liberia came to America and to visit family, and obviously was infected and was then taken to a hospital and all that, and he ended up dying. I think he died yesterday. And the problem is with that is he died. The hospital or whatever he was being helped at failed, and the person died. And I do believe some people say there are 10 people that are infected, which is wrong, I'm pretty sure. Some people say there are 2 more people which are infected, but I think no one else is infected. I'm pretty sure no one else is infected. If I'm wrong, correct me. Do it nicely, but correct me in the comments. But I'm pretty sure no one else is infected but him. So him dying, to me, is almost good, because that means, it's not going to spread. There are some people that are at high risk of having been infected and that are in quarantine. And I think there's one woman that was infected. Maybe there was one woman that was infected, and I think she asked to not be quarantined, which makes her a horrible, horrible person. I mean, if you're infected with something that could be the modern plague, something that could take out the whole country, it wouldn't be that hard, and you're like, yeah, I don't care. I don't care about all these. That's a horrible thing to do. But they're watching her still and all that, and everyone who she comes in contact, with, they are monitoring and stuff. So honestly, I do not believe an outbreak is going to occur. It does not seem likely to me, and a lot of people are kind of over-exaggerating. Now, the thing is it is not a disease that can ever really be over-exaggerated, just because of the fact that it is easy for it to spread, extremely easy for it to spread, and it's extremely painful, horribly painful, very, 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 very deadly. Obviously, so many people are dying from it, and you die very, very fast from it. It hits you like nothing. I mean, it's just a horrible disease, and it would be like the modern plague. So, I'm assuming, or I'm hoping that, we're not going to let a plague occur within, our country. That would be obviously the worst thing ever. So I'm hoping that will not happen. Obviously, it feels necessary to stop flights from Dallas, Texas. It feels necessary, or from Texas in general. It feels necessary to stop all incoming flights from Africa and to Africa. It just feels necessary to do these things. But obviously, we won't. We won't close our borders to those flights. Nothing like that, just because it's a big way. We would lose a lot of money in doing that. But in reality, it's like money or outbreak of Ebola. I pick losing money. And, the other problem with it is a lot of people don't think about this, but there are going to be flights from Africa to Europe, and then flights from Europe to America. That's just going to happen. You know what I mean? People from Africa are going to get here one way or another. But, what I'm hoping is by the time they get here, the infection will already be symptomatic, and they won't spread it. I don't know. Pretty much, I'm just assuming, and at this point also kind of hoping that, this just won't break out. The outbreak will not happen, because I'm an optimistic person, and I would like to think that we're not all going to die of Ebola. A lot of people seem to think that we are all going to die of Ebola, and that, everyone's going to get infected, everyone's going to die, everyone's going to, whatever. But I'm an optimistic person, optimistic enough to assume that that's not going to happen. Obviously, it definitely seems extremely plausible. It seems extremely possible for it to, become an outbreak in America, especially with the lack of consideration, the president and the government is giving to, the lack of attention it's getting within the country. Obviously, the average person is giving a lot of attention, But the people who can actually make a difference are giving it very little. And all the people who are selfish enough to come from... Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do consider it selfish to go to Africa and come back at this point. It is a selfish act. Whether or not it's just or unjust, that's to be debated. But it is semi-selfish because you might be the person who comes to America and spreads Ebola and kills people. And, I don't know. I just definitely really, really, really saddened by the fact that it even came over here. I feel like the original 3 people who came to America with Ebola should have just stayed in Africa. I mean, I know no one got infected from it, so I'm happy they came, but at the same time, I'm not. Another nurse in Spain was actually had died from Ebola because she was treating a patient who was diagnosed with Ebola, which is just so sad that she had to die for, being a nurse, doing a good thing and treating someone with Ebola. And that is how she contracted the disease. But, obviously it's a very deadly disease that's been proven. It's got a 50% death rate, which is extremely high. And that's just not good. So, sorry. But I'm just hoping at this point nothing will happen. There will be no outbreak. I'm hoping and assuming this won't happen because I really don't think it makes sense that it would happen. And sorry. And that's almost all I have to say about Ebola. So, but I also wanted to talk about, with this comes the topic of people over-worrying, overstressing, and just constant pessimism. Now, obviously, there's a necessary amount of pessimism, a necessary amount of, just doubt and worry. Within this world, you have to be doubtful. You have to be worried about things sometimes, because if you're not, then how will you know? How will you make sure everything is all good? There are a lot of people who say constant happy thoughts, constant happy vibes, never think of the negative. But if you never think of the negative, then you're never going to get anything positive because you're never going to fix the bad things that could possibly happen. And obviously that's a very dumb way to go about things. But another bad way to go about things is to only worry about the negative, to only fix the negative and to not fix the positive, or to not think about the positive, because the positive is the most important thing to think about. You're never going to get far in life, or you're never going to do well in life unless you constantly think about the things that you want, unless you constantly think about, whether it be a beautiful wife, whether it be, if you grow a husband, a fantastic family, a nice house, a nice car, money, whatever it is, you will never, ever, ever, I promise you will never get that unless you constantly think and dream about it. I don't know anyone who's become successful from not constantly thinking about, being successful. Obviously, there are a couple of people who are like lottery ticket winners and stuff who have, but, other than that, it just doesn't really happen. And, there are those really super pessimistic, cynical hipsters and stuff like that, just ultra cynical people. And I love hipsters, but the ultra cynical ones kind of suck. And nothing is going to get better if all you do is complain about the bad. And that's, I feel like that should be a known fact, but, everyone's just talking about how Ebola is going to kill everyone. They're not talking about how most likely it's not going to spread in America. We're a first world nation, very advanced healthcare-wise and all that. Obviously, there's not going to be a gigantic Ebola outbreak because we have the means to fix it, and we're not going to let it get to that point. There are very smart people studying and observing it extremely closely right now. And, I know I had earlier said that we're not giving it enough attention, which we aren't, I don't believe, but I don't know. But I do know that there are very, very, very smart people who think we are. And, the people who have the most authority. Now, obviously, shutting off flights is just, that is it. We have to do that, and we're not doing that. And I don't know why, but I do have faith in the fact that we are studying it close enough and watching it close enough to the point where it will not break out and it will not kill everyone and we'll all be fine and safe and dandy. But, a lot of people are just ultra pessimistic, ultra cynical, ultra untrustworthy, which kind of goes along with being cynical, and are saying, government sucks, they're stupid, I'm smarter, even though I'm 12. And, my idea is the smartest one, which is just not true. I'm just going to tell you flat out, it's just, you're wrong. I mean, unless you are, there's the occasional person who comes up with an idea who's not a genius that is genius, but in most cases, you're wrong. So, I just wanted to say that we'll be fine, there won't be an outbreak, and that's all I have to say, guys. Until next time, goodbye.